Hey everybody, and welcome to another deep dive.
Yeah.
This time we're going to be looking at dinosaur parenting.
Cool.
And we've got a really interesting documentary we're going to be pulling from to get this information.
Awesome.
So, you think of dinosaurs, you think of these big, fierce creatures.
Right.
Not really the nurturing type, but
No.
turns out they had some really unique ways of raising their young.
Definitely, this documentary showcases how these creatures adapted to a variety of environments.
Right, and how they kind of took care of their kids in these really tough spots.
Exactly.
So let's kick things off in Late Cretaceous India.
Okay.
The documentary introduces us to Isosaurus, which is a sauropod, a massive sauropod from the Titanosaur family.
Wow.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Really?
What's so special about this dinosaur?
Well, Isosaurus had some very distinct features compared to other sauropods, like it had really long front toes
Okay.
and a relatively short neck for a sauropod.
Hmm.
And there is debate among scientists whether these proportions are accurate. Oh.
Or just due to fossil measuring errors.
Gotcha. So I need more evidence.
Yeah, more complete skeletons would be good.
Yeah, more complete skeletons, always good.
But one thing we do know is that fossilized Isosaurus dung reveals traces of fungi similar to those that infect trees today.
So this is a big dinosaur reaching for the highest leaves.
Exactly.
I gotcha.
So we're talking about way up in the canopy, they were getting their food.
Wow, and the parents would have had to go up there to get food for their young.
Precisely.
That's a lot of work.
They were dedicated parents.
Well, hold on, though, because Isosaurus's home turf, India, during the Late Cretaceous,
Right.
was dominated by the Deccan Traps, that massive volcanic region.
Oh, yeah.
So that wasn't exactly, a peaceful little meadow
Definitely not.
that they were hanging out in.
Right.
So how do they, make that work?
Well, this leads us to another fascinating aspect of dinosaur parenting.
Okay.
Harnessing geothermal heat.
To incubate eggs.
Exactly.
Wait, so they're using volcanoes to hatch their eggs?
It seems that way. That's crazy.
Yeah, researchers have found fossilized titanosaur eggs near geothermal hot springs in Argentina.
Oh, wow.
And this discovery, coupled with research on dinosaur nest sediments, really suggests that some dinosaurs like Isosaurus might have used the Earth's heat to help their eggs hatch.
Wow, so they were using nature to their advantage.
Absolutely, they were like prehistoric engineers.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool.
So did all dinosaurs rely on volcanoes for nurseries?
Not at all.
Okay.
A 2018 study by Japanese researchers analyzed over 100 dinosaur nests,
Wow.
and they found a really surprising variety of nesting strategies.
Okay, so different dinosaurs, different approaches.
Yeah, it's like a prehistoric parenting manual
Yes.
with diverse chapters.
Yeah, exactly.
For example, titanosaurs like Isosaurus built nests from coarse sand and gravel, likely relying on geothermal incubation.
Okay.
But hadrosaurs used fine mud and sand, hinting at a reliance on solar heat or the heat generated by decomposing vegetation.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What about oviraptors? They were the egg thieves of the dinosaur world.
Well, that's a common misconception.
Oh, really?
While some oviraptorids might have stolen eggs, there's mounting evidence suggesting many were dedicated parents.
Oh.
The study found that oviraptors used a variety of materials for their nests, leading researchers to believe they might have used their feathers for incubation,
Okay.
like modern birds.
Wow, so not all oviraptors were egg snatchers.
All right.
Let's travel from India to China now.
Okay.
This documentary features Psittacosaurus, which is a small ceratopsian dinosaur.
Cool.
What can you tell me about this one?
Well, Psittacosaurus is known for its distinctive parrot-like beak
Okay.
and a thin, hollow crest on its head.
Oh, that's interesting. Was that used for fighting like the horns of a triceratops?
Probably not.
Okay.
Experts believe those crests, which were likely brightly colored,
Okay.
were primarily for display, maybe, to attract mates during courtship rituals.
Ah, so more of a fashion statement than a weapon.
Exact.
Got it.
But what makes Psittacosaurus even more intriguing is the evidence suggesting that males played a significant role in incubating the eggs.
Oh, dinosaur dads on duty.
Yeah.
Now that's a headline I'd like to see.
Right.
Is there any concrete evidence to support this paternal care?
There is. Paleontologists discovered a fossil of Psittapati, which is another oviraptorid dinosaur from Mongolia, in a brooding posture.
Wow.
And the eggs were arranged in a circle, suggesting the dinosaur sat in the center, protecting and warming them with its body.
So like a giant feathery bird just sitting on its nest.
Precisely.
Awesome.
It's a remarkable example of convergent evolution, where different species develop similar traits to adapt to similar challenges.
Amazing.
Yeah,
So we've got volcano-powered nests and dedicated dinosaur dads.
that's right.
What other parenting surprises does this documentary have in store for us?
Well, there's a pretty dramatic scene where a Psittacosaurus nest is raided by another dinosaur.
Oh no, who was the culprit?
The documentary identifies the egg thief as Psittacosaurus osmolski, another oviraptorid known to have eaten eggs. Oh, so another oviraptorid? Yeah. Okay, but hold on, there's a bit of a geographical mystery here.
Right.
Psittapodi fossils have been found in Mongolia, but
Yeah.
Psittacosaurus remains are primarily from China.
That's true.
So how does that work?
Well, the documentary's scientific advisor explains that many animals have wide ranges and could have migrated.
Right?
So while fossil discoveries provide valuable insights, they don't always tell the whole story.
Yeah, we're just working with what we've got.
Exactly. Just because we haven't found a Psittacosaurus fossil in Mongolia yet doesn't mean they weren't there.
Right, the fossil record is constantly evolving.
It is.
So let's move on to another fascinating dinosaur, Sicania, an ankylosaur from Mongolia's Gobi Desert.
Okay.
This one rings a bell.
Oh, yeah.
Heavily armored.
Sicania was a walking tank covered from head to tail in bony plates and spikes.
That's incredible, but what about its parenting style? Did all that armor play a role?
Well, while the documentary doesn't focus on Sicania's parenting, we can infer a few things.
Right. For instance, its remarkable nasal structure.
Its nose. What's so special about its nose?
Well, Sicania had large nostrils and a surprisingly complex nasal passage.
Okay.
And CT scans reveal similar structures in other ankylosaurs, suggesting an adaptation to their desert environment.
So how did this complex nose help them survive in the harsh desert?
Imagine it like a built-in air conditioner.
Oh, wow.
As Sicania inhaled hot, dry desert air,
Right.
its complex nasal passage would have cooled and humidified the air, making it easier to breathe and preventing dehydration.
So it's like a natural air conditioner?
Precisely.
Wow, that's one way to beat the desert heat.
It is.
But Sicania wasn't just known for its impressive armor and fancy nose.
Right.
They had those formidable tail clubs.
Yes, those tail clubs were quite a sight.
Yeah.
And while they were certainly useful for defense against predators,
Right.
there's compelling evidence suggesting that Sicania also used them for intraspecies combat.
So they were fighting each other.
It seems so.
Do we know why?
Well, paleontologists have found fossilized Sicania with healed fractures on their backs, pelvises, and tail bases.
Ouch.
And these injuries are consistent with tail club strikes.
Wow.
Furthermore, some individuals have asymmetrical tail clubs, hinting at preferred striking directions similar to left or right-handedness in humans.
So they're battling it out.
Yeah.
Maybe for mates resources territory?
Maybe.
It makes you wonder if they had designated dueling grounds.
Yeah. Laughs.
Meet me at the watering hole at dawn tail clubs only.
Right.
But even with all that armor and a powerful tail club, Sicania wasn't invincible.
Sadly, no creature is truly invincible.
That's true.
One Sicania skull tells a rather poignant story.
Well, what happened to this one?
Well, the skull shows evidence of a Tarbosaurus attack.
Yikes.
The Sicania survived the encounter,
Good.
but suffered from sinusitis likely caused by the injury.
Wow.
So it's a reminder that even the most well-defended creatures weren't immune to danger.
Yeah. Nature can be brutal.
It can.
Let's shift our focus back to India, where our newly hatched Isosaurus are facing their own set of challenges.
The tiny titans.
What dangers awaited them in this prehistoric world? I mean, they're just babies.
Right. Well, first they had to break out of their eggs.
Right.
And you might notice that the hatchlings have a peculiar structure on their snouts resembling an egg tooth.
Yeah, like baby birds use.
Yeah, like baby birds use. But this structure in Isosaurus hatchlings is a bit different.
Oh, really?
Research on a fossilized Mesaurus hatchling, which is a small sauropodomorph,
Okay.
suggests that this isn't a true egg tooth that sheds. It's an extension of the bone at the tip of the snout
Okay.
and remains with the dinosaur for a while after hatching.
Oh, interesting. So it's more of a built-in egg breaker.
Right.
But once they're out of the shell, they're still quite vulnerable, right?
Absolutely. Remember Rajasaurus, the apex predator of Late Cretaceous India?
Oh, yes. Rhodosaurus the king lizard.
Exactly.
I bet those little Isosaurus were on the menu.
Quite likely Rajasaurus, like its relative Carnotaurus, had a short, deep skull and small arms, typical of Abelisaurus.
It sounds scary.
Yeah.
What were those early days like for a baby Isosaurus?
Well, the fossil record doesn't give us all the answers, but we can make some educated guesses.
Okay, let's hear those guesses.
Imagine you're a tiny Isosaurus hatchling,
Okay.
freshly emerged from your volcano-heated nest.
All right.
You're surrounded by towering adults.
Oh, boy.
Their legs like giant redwood trunks.
I feel small.
The world is a vast and dangerous place.
Yeah.
You need to grow quickly,
Right.
and that means eating constantly.
Sure.
Luckily, your parents are there to guide you to the best feeding spots, those tall trees with the juiciest leaves.
Okay, so those high branches are like all-you-can-eat buffet for a sauropod,
Exactly.
but there's danger lurking everywhere.
Of course, predators are a constant threat.
So the parents are their protectors.
Yes, using their size and strength to ward off attackers.
Right.
They might even form defensive circles with the young ones in the center, safe from harm.
Like a prehistoric playpen guarded by giant, long-necked bodyguards.
Yeah, something like that.
That's a pretty effective strategy.
It is.
But those hatchlings still had to grow up fast.
They couldn't stay in the playpen forever.
Exactly. As the hatchlings grow, they learn to navigate their environment, foraging for food and avoiding predators.
Right, the parents are still there, but the young ones are gradually becoming more independent.
So it's like a gradual transition from complete dependence to self-sufficiency.
Precisely. And this brings us back to the central theme of our deep dive.
The remarkable diversity and adaptability of dinosaur parenting strategies,
Exactly.
from harnessing volcanic heat to dedicated dads sharing incubation duties, it's clear that dinosaurs were far more than just giant lumbering reptiles.
They were. And as we uncover more fossils and refine our understanding of their world, I'm sure even more surprises await us.
Which begs the question, what other secrets are hidden in the fossil record waiting to be discovered?
That's the beauty of paleontology. It's a journey of discovery that never truly ends. Each new finding opens up new possibilities and challenges our preconceived notions about the past.
And speaking of new findings, I read a recent article about the discovery of a dinosaur nesting ground.
Yeah,
And
it's amazing what we can learn just from fossilized remains.
It really is like a giant puzzle.
Yeah.
And every time we find a new fossil, it's another piece
Right.
that helps us see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And, it makes you really appreciate how far these creatures would go
Yeah.
to take care of their young.
Exactly. And this whole deep dive into dinosaur parenting has just revealed so many surprising and heartwarming insights.
Speaking of heartwarming,
Yeah.
remember we were talking about Psittacosaurus eggs earlier?
Oh, yeah, the ones with the parrot-like beak.
Right? With those fancy head crests?
Right.
What about them?
Well, the documentary mentions they might have been green. And guess what? Researchers analyzing fossilized eggshells of Hayawania, a close relative of Psittacosaurus,
Okay.
actually found traces of pigments,
Right.
suggesting their eggs were likely a similar color to emu eggs.
Emu like green.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a fun fact. I'll definitely be sharing that.
I'm sure you'll win.
Yeah.
It's those little details that make paleontology so captivating.
It's not just about, the giant bones and sharp teeth.
Right.
It's about understanding these creatures
Right.
as living, breathing animals
Exactly.
with complex behaviors.
Absolutely.
Speaking of complex behaviors, we haven't talked much about the specific challenges
Right.
that these dinosaurs faced in their environments.
Oh, yeah. Volcanoes, deserts, predators everywhere. It couldn't have been easy raising a family back then.
I mean, take Psychania, for example.
Yeah.
We talked about its armor and that incredible air-conditioned nose.
Right.
But surviving in the Gobi Desert
Yeah.
must have required some serious parenting skills.
Absolutely. Finding food and water would have been a constant struggle.
Right.
Ankylosaurs like Psychania were herbivores,
Right.
so vegetation would have been scarce in the desert.
So picture these heavily armored dinosaurs,
Right.
slowly lumbering across the arid landscape,
Yeah.
searching for a meager meal.
Yeah.
And not just for themselves, but for their young.
Exactly. It's really an image that underscores the importance of parental care
Right.
for the survival of the next generation.
It makes you realize that even in the harshest environments, dinosaurs found ways to raise their young,
They did.
pass on their genes, and, contribute to the grand tapestry of life.
Exactly. And that brings us back to the central theme of this deep dive.
Right.
The remarkable diversity and adaptability of dinosaur parenting strategies.
From harnessing volcanic heat to those dedicated dads sharing incubation duties.
That's right.
These prehistoric parents were far more complex than we often give them credit for.
They were, and as we uncover more fossils and continue to refine our understanding of their world,
Right.
I'm sure even more surprises await us.
It leads to the question, what other secrets are hidden in the fossil record just waiting to be unearthed?
That's the beauty of paleontology. It's a journey of discovery that never truly ends.
Exactly. And each new finding has the potential to rewrite our understanding of dinosaur behavior.
Right. For example, remember how we talked about the Psittacosaurus fossil? Found in that brooding posture, protecting its eggs like a giant bird.
Yeah, that was a pretty amazing discovery.
That finding actually challenged the long-held assumption that dinosaurs were solely reliant on environmental factors for incubation.
Mm,
It showed that some dinosaurs took an active role in regulating the temperature of their eggs, just like modern birds.
that's a game changer.
It is.
It paints a much more nuanced picture of dinosaur parenting.
Exactly. And it highlights the importance of questioning our assumptions
Right.
and being open to new interpretations as we learn more.
It's like we're constantly peeling back layers of this fascinating story.
Is a great analogy.
And, with each new discovery, we get more complexity and intrigue.
That's right. And this brings us back to the incredible diversity of parenting strategies we've discussed today.
Right, from the towering isosaurs reaching for leaves to nourish its young,
Yes.
to the dedicated Psittacosaurus dads sharing incubation duties.
Right.
It's clear that dinosaurs were far more than just giant lumbering reptiles.
Indeed, they were complex creatures with a remarkable range of adaptations.
Right.
Including sophisticated parenting behaviors that helped them thrive in a variety of challenging environments.
So what does this all mean? What can we learn from these prehistoric parents?
I think one of the key takeaways is the importance of adaptability.
Okay.
Dinosaurs faced incredible challenges, from volcanic eruptions to harsh desert conditions, yet they found ways to adapt
Right.
and ensure the survival of their offspring.
It's a testament to the power of evolution and the resilience of life itself.
It really is.
It's inspiring to see how these creatures faced adversity head on
Yeah.
and found ways to not just survive,
Right.
but thrive.
Absolutely. And it reminds us that even in the face of adversity, there's always a way to find solutions and persevere.
It's a powerful message, especially in today's world where we face our own unique set of challenges.
Absolutely. The dinosaurs might be gone, but their lessons in adaptability and resilience continue to resonate with us today.
Well said. And on that note, I want to thank you, our listeners, for joining us on this incredible deep dive into the world of dinosaur parenting.
It's been a pleasure exploring these fascinating creatures with you.
And as always, we encourage you to keep exploring, keep questioning,
Right.
and keep discovering the wonders of our prehistoric past. Who knows what other secrets are waiting to be unearthed?
Until next time, happy digging. It's really amazing to think about how much we can learn just from studying fossilized remains.
Yeah, it really is. It's like each bone, each tooth, even a footprint tells a story.
It does.
And, when we put it all together,
Yeah.
we get a glimpse into this world that's both familiar,
Right.
but also completely alien.
Absolutely.
And, it really strikes me
Yeah.
how much we've learned about dinosaur parenting
Yeah.
just in recent years.
Right.
It's like we've gone from seeing these dinosaurs as these solitary reptilian monsters
Right.
to recognizing them as these complex creatures with social structures and nurturing instincts.
It is a big shift in perspective, and it's really a testament to the power of scientific inquiry and
Wow.
keeping an open mind.
Right. And who knows what other discoveries are waiting to be made.
I know.
Speaking of revolutionary discoveries,
Yeah.
I remember reading about a recent study
Yeah?
that analyzed the chemical composition of dinosaur eggshells.
Oh.
And it turns out some dinosaurs might have laid brightly colored eggs.
That's right. That was a fascinating study.
Mm.
It really challenges that traditional view that all dinosaur eggs were just drab and earthy toned.
Yeah.
They found evidence of pigments like biliverdin and protoporphyrin in the eggshells,
Look.
suggesting that some dinosaur eggs might have been shades of blue, green, even reddish brown.
So are we talking like a prehistoric Easter egg hunt?
It's possible.
But why would dinosaurs have evolved to lay colorful eggs?
That's a good question.
I mean, camouflage would have been pretty important for survival.
You would think so, but there are a few theories.
Okay.
One possibility is that those brightly colored eggs were just easier for the parents to spot. Oh, okay.
In dense vegetation or low light conditions.
So like a natural beacon guiding the parents back to the nest.
Exactly.
Okay.
Another theory is that colorful eggs might have played a role in species recognition or even mate selection.
Oh.
Imagine a male dinosaur strutting his stuff,
Oh.
showing off his ability to produce vibrant, healthy eggs.
Now that's a prehistoric pickup line I would love to hear.
Right.
But in all seriousness, this discovery about the colorful eggs really adds another layer of complexity
It does.
to our understanding of their reproductive strategies.
Absolutely, and it shows that there's still so much we don't know about these amazing creatures.
Well, that's the beauty of paleontology, isn't it?
It is.
It's constantly evolving and challenging our assumptions.
Right.
And with every discovery, we get to see these new wonders.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into this incredible world of dinosaur parenting.
It's been a pleasure.
We've covered so much,
We have.
from volcano-powered nests to dedicated dads.
That's right. To those colorful eggs.
Who knew?
And to our listeners, we encourage you to keep exploring, keep questioning, keep discovering the wonders of our prehistoric past.
Absolutely.
After all, who doesn't love a good dinosaur story?
That's right.
Until next time, happy digging.